oil pan is properly installed. Don't mind this one because I haven't even filled it yet with the oil. Even I've loosened up the, what do you call it, the oil filter, installed the exhaust with the shield, with pretty much everything, even this one. Alright guys, now before we start installing the bearings and everything, we need to clean the journals, these areas. I've got a trick, let me just show it to you. So basically you get a sanding paper and you cut it. So this is it. So you see over here, the sanding paper is already rolled around it, and the shoelace is basically had 2 passes. And all what you need to do is just with both hands, just do this. And see, this is basically how you sand it. And I'm using 30,000 grit because remember guys, any material you sand, you're reducing the space, or actually you're increasing the space between the actual bearings and the, what do you call it, the pistons or the rods or whatever you want to call them, which means technically you need to go with a higher clearance bearings. So you need to be mindful of that, which means in this instant, once you're done cleaning them all, you need to measure again using plastic gauge just to see what's the space or what's the clearance that you're dealing with now. Make sense? Let me finish cleaning this one up and I'll show you how it's gonna look like. And once we're done with this one, we practically need to do all of them the same way. That way all of them have the same clearance, same space, same pretty much everything. Because this is the right way of actually fixing it. Okay? Alright guys, I managed to get all the bearings out. All of them out. And I made a discovery. I've lined them up exactly as they are. So for example, this one, if you look at the car, it's all the way there. Which means this one is all the way this, okay? These are the top bearings. And the bottom ones, they're right there. I just want you to look at it. Now, all of them, they look in good shape. Well, I mean, wear and tear, the normal one, but it's not like something that will cause a rod knock, except for this one, probably just a bit. But this is the one that we had a problem with, okay? This is, I think, cylinder number 3. This is the one that we had the problem with. Look at the bearing. Now, I know it's destroyed, but I just want you to pay attention to this one. It has grooves, edges. So this would be probably the top and this one will be the bottom. And look at the remaining. They're just normal. I think I made a discovery. This what caused the problem with the engine. Because these ones are actually thinner in terms of thickness. And this is definitely not the right one. So whomever worked on the car before, I don't know if the previous owner or before that, or a mechanic, some shady ass mechanic, replaced this one and he put these, and this is what caused the problem, because these ones, whilst they fit in terms of size, they're actually thinner, which means they're gonna move. Now look at it and look at those. Each one of those has an edge. See the edge? This one sits over here so that it prevents it from rotating. And similarly on the other side, look, there's an edge. So each one of them sits in a specific place that doesn't rotate, doesn't move. This one, it's not the same design, so it kept on rotating. As it kept on rotating, it got grinded, and as it got grinded, it got damaged, caused the rod knock. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the problem. This what caused the whole damage, because you see all of them, they look like OEM. They look like the original ones, and they were okay. I mean, if this one was one of those, it would have been probably okay. I've measured the sizes, and check this one out. I mean, yep. I got me some stuff to show. So, let's just put it over here. This is the right size. I got these. Main and the other one. See? Oh wow. the right size that I needed, which was 0.051. So this is for the bottom, this is the main. You see the groove in the middle? I don't want to open it now. And this is for the actual bearing. I think I've opened it, just want to show you. See? See? Now you see the difference in terms of color, how clean this one is versus how worn off that one is. All I need to do is just replace them, put them back, and I'm good to go. And I also bought this one, Prelude. This, what they call it, assembly lube. Now keep in mind, we drained the car from all the oil in it and we're replacing it. Now if you're gonna put all the bearings there, keep in mind they're just metal. And first start is the crucial start, because they're just metal, there's no oil in between and everything. So the minute they move, they start rotating and the pistons go up and down, they're gonna start grinding. Hence you need this one. So you put this one because it's gonna go into all the crevices over here. Now granted, you're gonna fill the car with fuel and everything, well, oil and everything, but the oil you're gonna put it, especially that the car was dry for some time, it's not gonna reach those areas at the beginning. So this will give the proper lubrication just in the first probably up and down cycle. After that, the oil pump inside will do its job and it oils up everything. That's it. That's exactly it. So what you need to do is just apply some on there, then put the bearing on it, then install it into place and move on and so on and so forth. That's about it. Sweet. And this is a better look for you guys. Based on the order that they are, with the original bearings that came with it. And this is the carpet. This is the problem one. Main bearing, rod bearing, assembly lube, the actual bearings with their code, RTV, gasket, oil pan. This is pretty much all what we need to put the car back and keep it hopefully running. Sweet! Okay, assembly wise, you start with this, the assembly lube. You apply just a bit and dab it with your finger. It's gooey. It's basically oil, but it's gooier in a way. It's like honey thickness and viscosity. Sorry about that. Okay, so you dab it in, make sure that it's lubed all over the place, and you start putting them one by one and install it as it comes. Look, this is the one that we needed. Look at the thickness. This is exactly what we needed in comparison to the original one, which is skinnier, basically. Follow the exact order, follow the exact way how they got in. That way you are good to go. Let's start putting them in and I'll show you how they're gonna look like afterwards. Now officially we can say these ones, we can chuck them in the bin. These are the old ones. These are the main bearings as the order that they come out. So this one, number 5, all the way to the other side. So here. And this is number 1, look at it, number 1, and it does have the arrow. So this one's gonna be over there, basically. And these are the old bearings, and these are the new bearings. Again, assembly lube, install, then we can put the remaining stuff. Carry on. Alright guys, as you can clearly see, the rod bearings installed, the main bearings installed, the pickup for the oil installed. I just need to bolt it. Trust me, careful there, careful there. I'm not using the impact all the way in, it's just until I screw it. That's it. Because remember, we're gonna torque it to spec as well, we have to torque it. But so far, it's working. I don't know if can you see that. Now, all I need to do is just torque it, and I'm good to go. Sweet. Then I'll install the oil pickup line, then the cover, the shield over here, and we can just simply clean this area and install the oil pan. Check it out. Oil pan is properly installed. Don't mind this one because I haven't even filled it up with the oil. Even I've loosened up the, what do you call it? The oil filter. Installed the exhaust with the shield, with pretty much everything, even this one. So everything that we've done, removing it, it's basically reverse, just putting it back in, and that's about it pretty much. Now everything is properly installed as it should be, including even this one. Now all what we need to do, change the oil filter, fill it with oil, not the proper oil, mind you. I'm just gonna put a cheap oil just so that I can flush the system. So put cheap oil, cheap filter, seal it properly, let it run for 10-15 minutes hopefully, and we'll get the oil out just to check it out and see if any damage or something happened. But apart from that, everything is perfect in tip-top shape. And now it's red, which means extra horsepower. Sweet! You guessed it. It's already been 24 hours since we put the oil pan down with the gasket and pretty much even the PVC and pretty much everything. Now it's time to put the oil. I got this bad boy over here. It was on sale. Now, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Now, what I need to buy is 10W40 because it's a rebuilt engine and it has a high mileage-ish. So 40 will be a better option. Why did I buy this one? Simply because it was on sale. Cheap. I didn't buy the good stuff. This is 5-liter capacity. Engine takes 3.8, 3.9. So let's just say for good measures, 4 liter. So this one will be 1 extra liter. Also, I got oil filter, cheap stuff as well. Z79A, which is the one that fits into the car. I didn't buy the K&N and all, simply because what I'm planning to do is what they call it flush, oil flush. So you put the oil in the engine, button it up and everything, and switch it on, turn the car on. If it runs and it's all good, then that's fine. Keep it running for easy 10-15 minutes until it reaches the normal temperature, or let's just say the driving temperature per se. And after that, shut it off, get the oil out. That way, if there is any leftover metal, shaving, or any gunk, any crap from the old oil, it just gets out, basically. Once that is done, then I can put the good stuff, oil and oil filter and whatnot. I even bought a new oil pan bolt. Not that I don't trust the old one, it's just, why not? You're refreshing things up. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the oil on, fill it all as it should be, and leave the car as is for easy 24 hours. Simply because I need the oil to go into all the crevices, all the areas that basically is dry now, simply because the car has no oil in it for quite some time. Sweet! All right, oil filter changed, oil pan plug changed. I got this, I don't have a funnel, so I got me a bottle and just cut the tip and just put it there. I just want you to see the color of the oil that we're gonna put. So when we do the flush and get it out, you get to see how it looks like afterwards. Keep in mind, guys, this is 5 liters, so we're aiming for only 3.8 out of it, or 4 max. See how it looks? Yep, let's continue, fill it all up, and I'll show you how it's gonna look like once it's all done. Sweet. All right, filled and all. Test the gauge. You see the gauge? We need to make sure that the oil goes into the upper hole, this one. See? This basically indicates full, and this is low, the other one. So get a rag, clean it, and just dump it in the hole. Now, mind you, once the car is actually running, chances are I'm going to have to top it up with more fuel, simply because more oil, simply because it's going to go into other spaces or other places that didn't reach out the fuel. Alright, so look out. I don't know if you can see, but yep, it's sitting at full and it's damn looking good. Now, two reasons why I want to leave it for 24 hours. Number one, I need to make sure that the oil reach out all the places. Number two, I need to check if there is any oil leak that I have. Like it could be that leaking somewhere from near the gaskets, from the oil filter and all. Mind you, by the way, the oil filter, do not, install it and tighten it up to a point where like no one can open it. It's hand tight, just hand tight. Because with the heat and everything, trust me, it's going to be tight enough. Now, so far, I got no leak, no nothing. Everything looks kosher. Let's just wait until tomorrow, and hopefully we'll charge the battery and give it its own first crank. Sweet. All right. Moment of truth. Car is full with oil, battery fully charged. Hopefully, and no oil leak, no nothing. Time to crank the car on and see if we fixed the problem. Let's see.